The research vessel Oceanic Explorer drifted quietly on the Pacific Ocean. Dr. Jisoo Park stood on deck, watching the deep blue waters. The morning sun sparkled on the waves as she prepared her equipment. Another day, another discovery, she said to herself, checking her underwater cameras. Jisoo was a marine biologist who loved studying ocean predators. For 8 years she had tracked sharks, squids, and strange deep-sea hunters. She wanted to understand how they found food and survived in the dark ocean depths. Today she was following a group of sperm whales hunting giant squid. Her special underwater drones recorded everything at depths where humans couldn't go. "Dr. Park, we're ready to launch the drones," called her assistant. Taemin Jisoo nodded and walked to the control room. Inside, screens showed feeds from 5 different underwater cameras. She sat down and began typing commands to direct the drones deeper. "Let's find those squids," she said, eyes fixed on the screens. What Jisoo didn't know was that someone else was watching too. Far above Earth, hidden behind the moon, a massive ship had been observing humanity for decades. The aliens had special interest in Earth's predators and in the predatory apes who had conquered the planet. On the ship, 2 beings discussed their findings. "The humans show unusual patterns," said one, its transparent skin pulsing with light. "They evolved as hunters yet built complex societies." "That combination is rare," replied another, 6 limbs moving in precise patterns. "We must study them more closely." Back on the Oceanic Explorer, Jisoo was excited. Her drones had captured amazing footage of a sperm whale catching a squid. She didn't notice the strange light in the sky at first. "Dr. Park!" Taemin shouted, pointing up. "Look!" The sky had turned bright purple. Clouds swirled around a growing circle of light. Then a massive shape broke through. The ship was unlike anything humans had built. It looked like a giant silver leaf, edges rippling as it descended. It was bigger than any aircraft carrier. Alarms blared across the research vessel. The radio crackled with emergency messages. All around the world, the same sight appeared over. "Major cities." "This can't be happening," whispered Jisoo, gripping the edge of her desk. Within hours, televisions and phones worldwide received the same message. The visitors called themselves the Galactic Conclave, 24 different alien species who had formed an alliance long ago. "We come in peace," said the message in perfect human languages. "We have studied Earth for many years. We wish to make formal contact." 3 days later, Jisoo stood nervously in a government building. She couldn't believe she had been selected as part of Earth's first delegation to meet the aliens. "Dr. Park," said the UN official, "your work on predator-prey relationships is why you're here. The aliens seem very interested in Earth's predatory species." Jisoo was given a small silver device shaped like a smooth stone. "Hello, Dr. Park," said the device in a gentle voice. "I am Taiho, your translator. I will help you communicate with the conclave representatives." The next day, Jisoo and 2 others, security specialist Dae-won Kim and diplomat Hana Lee, boarded a small shuttle. It rose quickly through the atmosphere, heading toward the massive mothership waiting near Earth's orbit. "Your planet is unique," explained Taiho as they traveled. "It has the most diverse collection of predatory adaptations we have ever seen. The conclave finds this fascinating." The shuttle docked with the enormous alien vessel. When the doors opened, Jisoo gasped. The interior was vast, like being inside a crystal forest. Lights flowed along pathways and the air smelled like fresh rain. Their guide was waiting. It looked like a giant insect with 4 arms and 2 legs. Its exoskeleton shimmered with blue-green colors. "I am Mino," it said through their translation devices. "Welcome to the conclave vessel." Jisoo noticed how Mino kept extra distance from them, its limbs twitching nervously. "Please follow me to your quarters. Tomorrow you will learn about the predator assessment." As they walked, they passed enormous rooms filled with holographic displays. Each showed different alien worlds and creatures. Jisoo stared in wonder at life forms she could never have imagined. "What exactly is this predator assessment?" asked Hana, the diplomat. Mino's antennae quivered. "It is how we classify species and their potential roles in galactic society." "Classify us?" Dae-won frowned. "For what purpose?" "All will be explained." said Mino, walking faster. Most evolved sentient species developed from herd animals, prey species that created complex social structures for protection. Your evolution from pursuit predators is uncommon. As they reached a viewing platform, the three humans stood speechless. Below them stretched a massive hall with holographic exhibits of thousands of species. Aliens of various shapes moved. Between displays, studying data charts and biological models, Jisoo suddenly understood. The realization made her stomach tighten. "We're not just visitors here," she whispered to her companions. "We're specimens being evaluated." Testing humanity, Jisoo stared at the massive dome structure before them. The curved walls shifted color, like an oil slick on water. Their guide, Mino, waved one of his forearms toward the entrance. "This is the first challenge arena," Mino explained. "The conclave requires all newly contacted species to participate in our assessment protocols." Jisoo glanced at her teammates. Daewon's face was set in a hard expression, while Hana maintained her diplomatic smile despite her obvious concern. "We're told these were ceremonial exchanges," Hana said carefully. Mino's antennae twitched. "They are ceremonial, they are also necessary." The doors parted silently as they approached. Inside, a huge chamber stretched farther than seemed possible. Jisoo gasped as the blank walls suddenly transformed into a perfect recreation of an African savanna. Heat waves rose from the ground. The scent of dry grass filled the air. A tall alien with purple skin and no visible eyes stepped forward. "I am the moderator. This first challenge will evaluate your species' endurance capabilities." "What exactly do we need to do?" asked Daewon. The moderator pointed to a distant shape moving across the savanna. "Simply catch that." Without warning, the door sealed behind them. The humans found themselves truly standing on hot earth, the simulated sun beating down on them. "Is this real?" whispered Jisoo. "It's an environmental projection," explained Daewon, touching the ground. "Advanced technology, but the sensations are real enough." The shape in the distance resembled an antelope. Jisoo realized what this test was about. "Persistence hunting," she said. "They want to see if we can run our prey to exhaustion." For the next 6 hours, the humans tracked their target across the simulated landscape. Working together, they kept the creature in sight, taking turns to rest while others maintained pursuit. Jisoo's scientific knowledge helped them predict the animal's behavior, while Daewon's military training kept them moving efficiently. In an observation room above, alien spectators watched with growing amazement. "They simply do not stop," remarked one observer with tentacles for limbs. "Most species would have given up hours ago," said another, "or relied on technology." When the humans finally cornered their exhausted target, the savanna dissolved around them. They stood panting in the empty chamber, sweaty but successful. "First assessment complete," announced the moderator. "Rest now. Second challenge begins tomorrow." Back in their quarters, Jisoo soaked her sore muscles in a strange bath filled with healing liquid. "That wasn't just a ceremony," Daewon said, pacing the room. "That was a test of our physical capabilities," Hana nodded. "I've been talking with some of the other species. There's more happening here than we were told." The next morning they entered a different chamber. This time, they faced a room filled with unknown objects and materials. "You must build a device to extract the core specimen," said the moderator, pointing to a glowing sphere suspended in a complex maze of barriers. Without touching any of the containment fields, with no instructions and unfamiliar tools, the humans had to experiment. Jisoo analyzed the patterns of the energy fields. Daewon tested the strength of different materials. Hana discovered how to combine the strange components. Working together, they built a simple but clever device that navigated the maze and retrieved the specimen. The solution wasn't elegant, but it worked. "Fascinating," said one observer. They ignored the intended approach entirely. "Their solution shouldn't have worked," said another. Yet it did. That night, Daewon couldn't sleep. He called the others to the window overlooking the massive station. "These aren't diplomatic exercises," he said firmly. "These are threat assessments. They're evaluating how dangerous we are." Jisoo frowned. "Why would they do that?" "Because we're predators," came a soft voice from the doorway. They turned to see a tall, gentle-looking alien with soft fur and large eyes. It resembled a deer standing on two legs. "I am Sodo of the Tellurians," it said. "Hana invited me to speak with you." Sodo explained the uncomfortable truth. Most advanced species in the conclave had evolved from herd animals, prey species that developed intelligence as a survival strategy. Species with predatory origins were rare and often considered dangerous. "Several factions are concerned about humans," Sodo said. "They seek to classify you as too dangerous for unrestricted space travel." "That's ridiculous," Jisoo protested. "We're peaceful explorers." Sodo's large eyes blinked slowly. "Your history suggests otherwise." Later that night, they confronted Fino in the corridor. "You're not just evaluating us," Hana said. "You're judging if we're too dangerous to join your conclave." Mino's exoskeleton changed color slightly, a sign of stress. "Yes," Mino finally admitted, "your kind possesses too many predatory advantages. My own people were nearly exterminated by hunters from another world. The conclave's primary purpose is to prevent such tragedies." As they prepared for the next challenge, Jisoo couldn't shake the feeling that something larger was happening around them, the way certain aliens watched them, the whispered conversations that stopped when humans approached. "I think they're afraid of us," she told her teammates, "and I don't think these tests are the only way they're evaluating humanity." "Then we need to show them we're more than just predators," Hana said firmly. Day One nodded. "The question is, will they give us that chance?" Dangerous Revelations Sodo, who preferred the name Sung-ho when speaking with humans, led Jisoo and her teammates through a hidden section of the conclave station. His deer-like hooves made soft clicking sounds on the metallic floor as they moved. "Deeper into restricted areas. I risk much by showing you this," Sung-ho whispered. "But you must understand what is happening." They stopped at a secured terminal. Sung-ho pressed his palm against it, and the screen lit up with ancient records. "Look," he said, pointing to images of various alien species. These were all apex predator species who made contact with the conclave. Jisoo scanned the files. For each species, there was a final status notation. "Contained," she read aloud. "What does that mean?" Sung-ho's large eyes looked sad. "Those deemed excessively dangerous are confined to their home systems or altered." "Altered?" Daewon stepped closer. "You mean genetically modified?" Sung-ho nodded slowly. "The conclave believes it is better to change a species than to risk Galactic War." Jisoo felt cold fear spread through her body. The implications were clear. Earth's future hung in the balance of these tests that had seemed so strange and arbitrary. "Is that legal under conclave law?" Hana asked, her diplomatic training kicking in. "It is considered preventative action," Sung-ho explained. "The majority, species, all prey descendants, vote to approve such measures when they feel threatened." Before they could ask more questions, a loud alarm blared through the station. Red lights flashed in the corridors. "Emergency in Diplomatic Section 4, announced a calm voice in all languages. "Medical teams respond." "What's happening?" Jisoo asked. Sung-ho's ears twitched nervously. "I don't know. We should return to your quarters quickly." They had barely made it halfway back when they were surrounded by tall, armored figures with weapons pointed at them. "Humans," said the lead security officer. "You will come with us immediately." "What's going on?" Daewon demanded. "An attack has occurred in the diplomatic quarter," replied the officer coldly. 3 representatives have been injured, 1 critically. They were escorted back to their quarters, which now had guards posted outside. Inside, a severe-looking alien with grey skin and formal robes waited for them. "I am Chief Arbiter Tuvo," it announced. "You are confined to these quarters while we investigate the assault." "You think we did it?" Hana asked in disbelief. The Arbiter's face remained expressionless. "Your violent nature makes you the logical suspects. The attack method matches human capabilities." After the Arbiter left, the 3 humans gathered around their small table. "This is a setup," Daewon said firmly. "Someone wants us to fail these tests." "But who would do that?" Jisoo wondered. "Someone who fears competition," suggested Hana. "Or who genuinely fears humans." Over the next day, while still under guard, they were permitted to continue with the 3rd trial. Security officers escorted them to a new testing chamber. This evaluation will measure your response to threatening situations, explained the moderator. The simulation began. The humans found themselves in what appeared to be an Earth city under attack. Around them, panicked aliens of various species ran in all directions. Sudden explosions rocked nearby buildings. Jisoo realized this was a test of their combat instincts. Would they attack? Would they panic? Instead, the humans organized the frightened aliens, creating safe routes away from danger. When a building collapsed, Daewon ran inside to rescue trapped beings. When a young alien child was separated from its parent, Jisoo carried it to safety. In the observation room, the watchers were confused. This contradicts their predicted behavior patterns, noted one observer. The simulation was designed to trigger aggressive responses. They're protecting others rather than themselves, said another, sounding surprised. When the simulation ended, the humans were returned to their quarters. Meanwhile, Jisoo had begun spending time with Mino, their insectoid guide. At first, the P. Conversations were tense, but slowly Mino opened up. I must admit, Mino said, his antennae twitching thoughtfully. You humans are not what I expected. What did you expect? Jisoo asked. Aggression, dominance behavior. That is what our studies of Earth showed us. Jisoo smiled. We can be those things, but we're also capable of compassion, cooperation, and sacrifice. As they talked more, Mino began to question his own assumptions. Perhaps my fear of predator species has blinded me. On the 5th day of their confinement, Mino visited with important news. I have been investigating the attack, he said quietly. The evidence against you was too perfect, too convenient. Someone is trying to frame us, Daewon said. Mino nodded. There's a faction called the Protectorate. They believe preventing new predator species from joining the galactic community ensures stability. They've been manipulating your trials from the beginning. Can you prove it? Asked Hannah. Not yet, admitted Mino, but I will help you, because I believe you have shown me something important, that being a predator species does not mean you must always be a threat. The final test, Jisoo stood before the Conclave Council, her heart beating fast. The circular chamber held representatives from all 24 species. Some floated in tanks of liquid. Others needed special breathing apparatus. All watched her with intense interest. Humans aren't just predators, Jisoo explained, pointing to the data she had prepared. We're evolutionary anomalies. She showed them brain scans comparing humans to other Earth species, and then to alien species in the Conclave database. See this area? She highlighted a section of the human brain. This is where empathy develops. In most predator species, this region is much smaller. But in humans, it grew alongside our hunting instincts, the council members murmured among themselves. What you call dangerous, Jisoo continued, we call balance. We can hunt, but we also heal. We compete, but we also cooperate. Our greatest strength isn't our ability to kill, it's our ability to choose not to. The chief arbiter raised a hand to silence the room. Your theory is interesting, Dr. Park, but theories do not override evidence. The final trial will determine humanity's classification. As they left the chamber, an announcement echoed through the station. Final assessment begins in 6 hours. All species representatives must report to their designated stations. What do you think the final test will be? Daewon asked as they prepared. Jisoo shook her head. Whatever it is, I think it's already started. She was right. When they arrived, at the testing area, chaos greeted them. Warning lights flashed everywhere. Aliens ran in all directions, some crying out in their native languages. Attention all beings, came an emergency broadcast. Environmental systems are failing across multiple sectors. This is not a drill. Proceed to your species' safe zones. Immediately. Mino rushed up to them, his exoskeleton faded with stress. Something is wrong. Life support is failing in sectors with incompatible atmospheres. Many will die. This is the test, Jisoo realized. They're seeing how we respond to a crisis. Without hesitation, the humans sprang into action. Hana used her diplomatic skills to calm panicked groups. Daewon organized rescue teams. Jisoo analyzed the environmental systems to prioritize the most critical areas. What about your safe zone? Asked a confused alien as Jisoo led it toward. Oxygen-rich air. Helping others is more important, she replied. In one sector, they found the air turning toxic for most species. Jisoo grabbed breathing equipment and rushed inside. There, in a small chamber, were several egg cases belonging to Mino species. The air would soon kill them. Without thinking about her own safety, Jisoo gathered the cases and carried them through the poisonous atmosphere. Her lungs burned, her eyes watered. But she didn't stop until every egg was safe. When she emerged, gasping and coughing, dozens of conclave members watched in amazement. She risked death, one whispered, for offspring not her own. Meanwhile, Daewon and Hana had made a discovery. While coordinating evacuations, they found unusual devices attached to the life support systems. Sabotage, Daewon confirmed, examining one closely. These aren't random failures. They traced the technology to the Nari, a secretive species known for their advanced technical skills. The Nari had remained silent during all discussions about humans, but now their plan was clear. They feared Earth would challenge their position as technology leaders. As hours passed, the situation grew worse. Life support continued to fail across the station. The humans' remarkable adaptability became their greatest strength. They improvised tools from available materials. They found ways to communicate across language barriers. Most importantly, they put the survival of all above their own comfort and safety. In the control center, conclave leaders watched with growing surprise. They organize better than predicted, said one. They adapt so quickly, noted another. Elder member, who had lived for centuries, watched the screens thoughtfully. This is what makes them dangerous, she whispered. Not their teeth or their endurance or their cleverness, but that they can be both predator and protector by choice. As Jisoo helped seal a breach in a hull section, she caught sight of Mino, watching her, the insectoid being approached slowly. My ancestors would never believe what I am seeing, Mino said. A predator species that chooses to protect rather than exploit weakness. Jisoo smiled through her exhaustion. That's what makes us human. By the time the emergency was contained, the humans had earned something greater than passing a test. They had earned respect. In the Grand Assembly Hall, silence hung heavy as the conclave's verdict echoed through the chamber. Dr. Park stood motionless, her heart racing, as the chief arbiter delivered a surprising declaration about humanity. Humans were to be classified as the galaxy's deadliest predators, but not in the way anyone expected. The arbiter explained something remarkable. Humans weren't the most dangerous because of their ability to destroy, but because of their unique power to balance destruction and creation. They could be hunters and protectors at the same time, a rare combination in the universe. Earth received an unexpected invitation, provisional membership in the conclave, with special responsibilities. Dr. Park saw this as a chance to prove humanity's worth. She quickly proposed an initiative that would combine human adaptability with the knowledge of other alien worlds. Her colleagues embraced the opportunity. Daewon, a strong-willed researcher, accepted a position in the conclave's peacekeeping force. He would be the first human to serve in this important role. Hana, another team member, began working on frameworks to help Earth integrate into galactic society. During the ceremonial gathering, representatives from 24 different worlds watched and listened. Dr. Park reflected on humanity's long journey, from early humans hunting on the African plains to becoming potential guardians of cosmic balance. We evolved as predators, she told the assembly, but we chose to be protectors. That choice is our true strength. 1 month later, the first permanent alien embassy opened on Earth. Dr. Park watched something beautiful unfold in the diplomatic compound. Children from different planets played together, learning from one another without fear. Among them was Mino's offspring, who no longer saw human children as threats but as friends. The moment symbolized everything the team had worked for. Humanity had been given a unique title, the galaxy's deadliest predators, but they had redefined it. They weren't conquerors. They were guardians who understood the delicate balance between strength and compassion. As alien ships landed and diplomatic missions began, Dr. Park knew this was just the beginning. Humanity had proven itself not through force, but through its ability to adapt, understand, and protect. The universe was watching, and Earth had shown its true colors. The stars seemed to shine a little brighter that day, witnessing a new chapter in cosmic history. Humanity had found its place among the galaxies, not through violence but through understanding.